how much does stress play into with the weight too? Because these last 2 weeks with work, I did have a lot of stress. So that's what I was thinking, is that part of the reason why I didn't lose, the weight too?
Do you want me to talk to your boss about your stress?
No. I wish, but no.
Okay. All humor aside, if I need to give you some age-old, blunt, harsh truth, you're not going to live a life that's stress-free. Okay. So you know that enough, right?
Yes.
You're not a kid. You've lived life long enough to understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, the truth is, I have seen a lot of my clients when they go through stress periods, the body holds on to weight.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, to be honest, I am not concerned with your body holding on to weight during a stress patch if you're consistently working out.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I did notice is that what the stress that I went through, it made me remember like in the past, these were the kind of moments and times when I'd give up, I'd stop because my brain couldn't handle it. But this time I kept going because I was on a path. I'm on my goal. So I kept going. It didn't feel, mentally, but I knew that I wasn't going to quit like I had before.
Yeah, what you're saying is in the past, when you were stressed out, you would quit exercising, you would quit eating healthy, you would quit that because it takes more energy to think about working out, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. But how many weeks have you been on this current workout program and this current nutrition plan? How many?
Since May.
Since May, right? So June,
Hmm.
July, August, September, October, November, early
Yeah.
November. So it's been basically almost 6 months that you've been living this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you can finally say that you're not quitting because stress is once again rearing its ugly head in your life.
Right.
Okay, so what do you contribute that to?
The discipline, it's, I know what I have to do. I do it because I know that quitting isn't going to help. It's not going to fix the stress. Working out helps. It's going to help me in the long run. It also like makes me feel better about what I can control.
Okay, so basically what you're telling me is that now you're thinking that working out keeps you on the path. Out is also keeping on your path and makes you feel better when you do it.
Right.
That means you view working out regularly as an asset, not a
Yes.
liability.
Right.
So it took 6 months for you to shift your identity from a person who was a quitter in the times of stress to actually a person who uses working out and eating healthy as a way to relieve stress.
Right.
Does that conversation make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is what we call an identity shift. Identity shift is when a person changes the way they view themselves, their identity. So in the
Hmm.
past, you viewed yourself as like, I don't need to work out. You subconsciously, you viewed yourself that way. I'm not saying that you told yourself in the mirror, I'm a quitter. We don't think like that. We think subconsciously,
Yeah.
right?
That
So
sounds great.
yeah. And now you're saying subconsciously that I view myself as like, well, I'm going to stick to my routine anyway. I'm subconsciously telling myself I'm going to work out because that's the path I'm on.
Right.
That's an
Yeah.
identity shift.
Yes.
It took 6 months to create that shift. While you lost 25 pounds, while you toned up, while you look better in your hips, while you're losing some back fat and your chin is getting a little bit more chiseled.
Hmm.
How do all those changes sound in 6 months?
It feels good. It felt good, it felt good to remember what I did before and how I didn't give in now. It felt good that
Okay.
I had the confidence to keep going. I
Yeah.
didn't give up. I didn't feel like quitting.
The hardest part about stress is not the stress, is what stress triggers.
Yes.
Okay, an example of that would be a lot of my clients, when stress triggers them, they will cope with it by eating bad, drinking alcohol. I'm talking like binge drinking alcohol, like going into it, eating bad, grabbing that cookie jar times 10.
Right. Yeah.
Eating a bad meal times, not just one meal every 3 weeks, but eating a
All
bad,
day.
making a weekend junk food
Right.
weekend out of it while skipping their workouts. And now they've skipped the workout the entire weekend. They've drank a bunch of alcohol and then they've eaten a bunch of junk food. When they come back Monday morning, of course, they're not in the same state
Mm-hmm.
because their body's not in that state.
Right.
So the question is not whether stress is going to come. The question is, what coping mechanisms do you have to handle stress?
Yeah.
What's your coping mechanism to handle stress?
I know that it's gonna pass. I know that it's temporary. The workout is gonna help me more than giving into temptations, because the temptations is just a pleasure for a short time versus I'm gonna feel guilty, I'm gonna feel regret, I'm gonna feel terrible about myself if I were to give in to that.
Yeah. So your coping mechanism is now you know in your perspective and is that the pain you associate with eating bad or not or skipping your workout is much worse than actually working out or eating healthy. You see, the identity has shifted. I associate more pain with being bad versus
Yeah,
being good. Where
yeah,
before you associated more pain with working out and eating healthy versus no, I want that pint of ice cream and I want to skip the workout because I'll feel better temporarily. But then the next morning, I live a life of regret.
right.
So,
Yes.
so your coping mechanism is actually your perspective. And then, of course,
Mhm.
I mean, you've been on this program for 6 months. Obviously, you've built up some amount of discipline where you can handle the stress right now. You have a
Yeah,
coping strategy to deal with it. It is so much more important that you stay on this path and continue getting better and better. Because if you quit, lack of a better analogy, like an alcoholic, you will relapse. I have seen people relapse after 2 years of working out and eating healthy.
wow. I don't want to do that.
It happens.
That.
Okay. So, conclusion, the way to deal with stress, you need a coping strategy. What is in the basket of a coping strategy? Knowing why you want to work out, because the pain with not working out is worse than the pain of working out.
Yes.
The pain of not eating healthy is worse than the pain of eating healthy. Doing it long enough so it becomes a discipline and a routine, and having a coach that holds you accountable and keeps you on the path.
Yeah.
That's the strategy. That's the formula.
Yes.
What's the byproduct of that? You lose 25 pounds, your face is chiseled, your thighs are losing fat, you're losing upper back fat, your clothes are fitting better, knee pain completely gone, and you are on your way and on the path to being physically independent and not reliant on anyone as you get older. That was the original goal that you brought up to me.
Yes.
Okay.